So this is for one of my students who is having some problems with math vision project, MVP level 1, module 8, section 2. This is on page 14 and it's part of Go. So they give you the slope, which is -1/4, and they give you a point. And they want you to put it in standard form. So what is standard form? Standard form is ax plus by equals c. This is called standard form. So if you have it in terms like y slope intercept form and stuff like that, that's not going to help. So you're given this, you're given a point right over here, 12,5, and you're given the slope. What are you going to use? You're going to use the point slope form because you have a point and a slope, right? Remember the equation for the point slope form? It is y minus y1 equals m parentheses x minus x1. This is what you're going to plug in. This is your x1, this is your y1. Don't forget to put in like x1 and y1 in here, so that way you know which one you're going to plug in to this equation right here. And that's your slope. Slope, the letter that we use is m, right? M is equal to -1/4, and there it is. So we just plug those points in. Y minus -1/4, so I have to put parentheses around that, equals, oh, whoops, I had it wrong. Sorry about that. Y minus 5 equals m, which is -1/4, times x minus, right here, 12. And there it is. It's not in standard form because this is the standard form. So what you have to do is you have to distribute this out. Y minus 5 is equal to -1/4 times x. So you have to distribute that. -1/4 x, -1/4 times -12. It's going to be negative, and the negative is positive. What's a quarter of 12? Let's go 12 times 1/4, and you get 12 over 4. You put over 1 just in case. 12 times 1 is 12. 1 times 4 is 4. 12 over 4 is 3, plus 3. You have to move this guy to the left side. You have to move this guy to the right side. I'm going to add 1/4 x to the left side. Cancel those out. Okay, guys? Good, those are very interesting. And since it's -5, you're going to add 5 to both sides. Cancel those out. That's a good habit to have, okay? So you have 1/4 x. There it is. Plus y is equal to, got rid of that, 8. We still have a problem because we don't like fractions. All the ABC has to be in nice whole numbers where a is a positive number too. So how do you get rid of that 4? We're going to multiply by 4 to the left side and to the right side. 4 times 1/4 is just 1x, plus 4 times y. You have to distribute everything. 4y equals 4 times 8 is 32. That's your answer for number 1. Okay, make sure you can do something like this. If you're given, try this problem just in case. M equals 2/3 and go to the point 3, 6. Okay, and try to change it into standard form. Next question. You have 2 points. How do you do 2 points? Now, what would you do is, since you have the points, you don't have the slope. You have to find the slope. Remember that slope, m, by definition, is rise over run. And that's the formula would be y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. And so what I like to do is I like to put, I'm going to use purple here, put x1 here, y1 there, x2 here, and y2 here. So you have your first point, your second point, your second x point, second y point. And you just plug it in. M equals, always write the formula out first before you start writing your information in, right? Y2, 2 minus -3 all over. And I like to point as I go. X2 is 6 minus 11. Let's evaluate that. That's 2 minus the -3 is 2 plus 3 all over 6 minus 11 is negative 5. 5 over negative 5. A negative and a positive is negative. 5 over 5 is 1. You found your slope. Now you can pick any point you want. You can use this point or this point using the point slope form. And we go through the process all over again. Y minus y1 is equal to m times x minus x1. I like to use this point because it's got small numbers. You could have used this point as well. Okay, so let's use this guy. Y minus y1 is 2. Call it, just make sure, y1 and x1 as well. It's equal to m, which is negative 1, times x minus 6. Y minus 2. Let's distribute the negative into it. Negative 1x. Negative 1 times negative 6 is plus 6. Make sure you're multiplying these, okay? We move the x, add the x to both sides. Cancel those out on the left side. Put the equal sign down. On the right side, you have 6. On the right side, you have x plus y minus 2. You have to get rid of 2 to the right side. Add 2. Cancel those out. X plus y is equal to 8. That's your equation. And you notice ax plus by. A is 1 in our case because there's a 1 in front of the x. That's called a coefficient, guys. There's a 1 in front of y, which is our b value, and my constant is c. There it is. Okay, that's it. That's question number 2. X-intercepts and y-intercepts. When they give you problems like this where they give you the intercepts and you want to kind of draw it out, just kind of see what it looks like. Negative 2, that means that this is going to be in a coordinate state. Don't forget how you want to change to a coordinate state first and think about it. It's negative 2 comma 0. There it is right there, negative 2 comma 0. Y-intercept is negative 3, which means it's going to be 0 comma negative 3. Think about that. 1, 2, 3. Let's think about this a little bit. Y-intercept is negative 3. It's along your y-axis. And then where does a graph cross the y-axis? At negative 3. So the x value must be 0. So whenever they give you y-intercept, make sure you plug in a 0 for your x. Vice versa, as if they give you an x-intercept, your y value is going to be 0. And so here's what the graph's going to look like. Oh, you have 2 points. Huh. Well, we can always find the slope of this by slope is equal to rise over run. We start at this point. You're rising, going down 3 units, right? 1, 2, 3, and then your run is plus 2. So this is your rise, this is your run. And you notice that negative on the y value is because you're going to hell. I'm sorry, you're going down. Just kidding, Sean. Anyway, so that's your slope. And you can use this point or this. Oh, y equals, let's use mx plus b. Remember what our b value was? This is the y-intercept. In fact, that's your slope. So this equation is called slope-intercept form. I hope you remember that. So y is equal to m, which is negative 3 halves x plus, what's my y-intercept? Right here. Not the x-intercept. It's always the y-intercept, which happens to be minus 3. Now you want to put in standard form, so you move this guy, this term, to the left side. How do you do that? We add 3 over 2x, add 3 over 2x. Cancel those out. On the left, you have 3 over 2x plus y is equal to negative 3. Is it in standard form? Nope, I don't think so, because this has to be a whole number, right? How do we turn this into a whole number? Well, you have a divided by 2 here, so you have to multiply everything by 2. To the left and to the right. 2 times 3 halves, do the evaluation. 2 times 3 halves over 1, they cancel, right? And with 3x plus, distribute the 2 with the y, you get 2y, distribute the 2 with the 3, you get negative 6. So you get 3x plus 2y equals negative 6. That's your answer right there. Okay? Good luck. If I give you a problem something like this, x-intercept is negative 2 and y-intercept is 4. Find the equation in standard form. Okay? Let's do a couple more. All x values are negative 7 and y is any number. That's S. So let's try to graph it out, see what it looks like. And x value is negative 7. Where's my x value in negative 7? Negative 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, go a little bit more. And my y value is any number. So let's say it's 0. My x value is negative 7 right there. Let's say my y value is 3. My x value is still negative 7. All values of x are negative 7. My y value is any number. Let's say my y value is negative 2. My x value is still negative 7. Y value is 5. Still negative 7. Oh, there's the equation of that line. Remember what the equation of a vertical line was? Well, if you don't remember, try to look it up. Always, equation of vertical lines are always x equals. Okay, and they always go through the x-intercept, which is negative 7. That's your final answer. Just in case, she might give you, she might swap this. It says y value equals 3 when all x values, not when, for all x value. So it's 1, 2, 3 y value when x value is 0. When x value is 5, my y value is 3. So that would be a horizontal line. The equation of a horizontal line is always y equals the constant, which it crosses at 3. Don't forget, she might give you something like this or something like this. So when you have y equals constant, it's a horizontal line. When you have x equals constant, it's going to be a vertical line. You should put this in your notes somewhere. Okay? Let me see what else. They give you a slope of 1/2 and x-intercept of 5. Okay, let's try this one. This is a little tricky. You're not kind of used to this problem. Remember we talked about x-intercept of 5. What does that mean in the coordinate state? It means when the x value is 5, my y value was 0, right? So what's the equation? Y minus y1. You have a point and slope. X minus x1. Y minus y1. I'm gonna label it x1 and y1. So y minus y1 equals m 1/2 times x minus x1, which is 5. So y minus 0 is just y. Okay. 1/2. I'm going to distribute the x. 1/2 x. What's 1/2 times 5? Minus 5 halves. If you're not sure about that, 1/2 times 5. Keep it over 1 so that way you know it's a fraction. There's nothing to cross out. So you multiply straight across. 1 times 5, 5. 2 times 1 is 2. 5 halves. Okay. We're going to subtract 1/2 x to both sides. Put the equal sign down first. Cancel those out. On the right side, you have negative 5 halves. On the left side, you have negative 1/2 x plus y. I cannot have a negative on my a term. It always has to be positive. So what I do is I'm going to multiply the left and right by -2. Negative times a negative is positive. So I have 2 times 1/2 is just positive 1x. Negative 2 times y is, negative 2 times y is, negative 2y equals, on the right side, negative times a negative is positive. And what's 5/2 times 2? Oh, those cancel. One numerator, one denominator always cancels. You end up with 5/1, which is just 5. Okay? Huh. So there it is. Let me see. Next page. You know how to do this one. You're giving 2 points. We went over this. So hopefully that should be enough to help you for your quiz this coming Friday, okay? And you can also send this to anybody you want, your friends, whatever, okay? Thanks. Bye.